A WWE future is uncertain. The truth behind this new Shane McMahon AEW picture, why a WWE star isn't being used, and more. I'm Luke Owen and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Get exclusive videos over on our Patreon.
But we kick off today's news with the best kind of news. Simpsons news! While I'm sure there are only about 5 of you in the comments that are still watching new episodes of The Simpsons, people of a certain vintage have a lot of nostalgia for the show. Me, for example. Shout out to Talking Simpsons, one of my favourite podcasts. And to kick off the 36th season of the show, The Simpsons episode Bart's Birthday is being loaded up with guest stars, including Conan O'Brien, Danny DeVito returning as Uncle Herb, Tom Hanks, and, for fans of the Graps, John Cena. I mean, he's either standing behind that guy or, I can't see him because, well, I'm pretty sure that's just Dave Meltzer. It looks like he's about to correct Bruce Pritchard on how many episodes of The Simpsons there's really been. On to more serious matters, and you might recall a few months ago that we here at WrestleTalk broke the news with Fightful Select that Shane McMahon had met with AEW's Tony Khan, which was accompanied by this hilarious photo. From what we were told by sources within All Elite Wrestling, Tony had kept the meeting a secret, but had been open to using Shane O'Mac for a number of weeks before their meeting at an Arlington airport. Tony later opened up about the conversation, saying in one interview it was an exciting time in AEW. It led to plenty of speculation that Shane could be involved in the Elite storyline against Team AEW at Blood and Guts. He could be in the Casino Gauntlet at All In. He could debut at Grand Slam in New York, but none of that has happened. As far as we can tell, there is no Shane McMahon to AEW confirmed. But tell that to the Troll Bucks. The day after AEW Grand Slam from Arthur Ashe, the Young Bucks took to Twitter to post this picture of them posing with Shane McMahon at an airport, noting they had an interesting flight. Boy, the Mean Street Posse sure look different to how I remember them. This, of course, sparked more speculation about the future of Shane McMahon and All Elite Wrestling, but according to the man himself, there is little to speculate on. According to someone on the flight who contacted Cultaholic to provide the information, Shane and the Bucks were seen boarding the plane together, talking and laughing, and sat just one row apart in first class. However, they didn't talk much on the flight as Matt and Nick Jackson slept for most of the journey to Salt Lake City. The witness adds all 3 of them were waiting back after the plane landed to take a photo together. According to Cultaholic, despite being sat so close together, McMahon claimed to a person on the flight that it was a coincidence that he was on the same flight as the Young Bucks. So likely this is just the Troll Bucks taking a photo knowing it would garner media attention. The sort of media attention I'm currently giving them. So, well played, Bucks. But as one door potentially opens, another potentially closes for AEW. And we'll have more on that in a bit. But first, here's a clip from our most recent episode of Cutscene, where I chart the troubled history of Ryan Reynolds trying to get a Deadpool movie made. Over at New Line Cinemas, Jeff Katz began the idea of making a movie based on Deadpool in 2004 and wanted Ryan Reynolds to play the role. The pair were working together on Blade Trinity, which saw Reynolds play Hannibal King alongside Wesley Snipes' Daywalker. And the two began to collaborate on developing what could be a Deadpool movie released by New Line Cinemas. Katz would later say Ryan Reynolds is, I think, the only guy who can play that character. He is that character. The story of Malakai Black and AEW has been a strange one. He came in with a lot of fanfare, beating Cody Rhodes and forming the House of Black faction alongside Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Julia Hart. He won the AEW Trios Championships, but it was noted by many fans that he very rarely had singles matches in the company. While he's spoken publicly that he's not sure why that's the case, the scuttlebutt has always been is that he didn't want to be booked to lose. Dave Meltzer noted last year that's the reason he wasn't in the C2. It was even reported that Black had asked for his release in 2022, as did a few other ex-WWE guys, following Triple H taking over the creative reins in WWE. The company had reportedly reached out to former talents who had gone to AEW about possibly getting out of their deals and coming back. Black has denied the release request, but Sean Ross Sapp reported that the calls from WWE did happen, as Swerve Strickland and William Regal were both contacted. Andrade and Miro, the latter of which requested his release from AEW last week, were also listed among those ex-WWE guys who felt that AEW was the lower leagues and were just waiting to go back to WWE. But while Miro has reportedly requested his release, Black has not. And according to Tony Khan, Malakai Black is with AEW for a good number of years. He noted back in 2022 that Black had almost 5 years left on his deal. But that might not be the case, at least according to Raj Giri. He posted on Twitter, "The word I'm hearing is that Black's contract is actually up early next year and AEW is working to re-sign him." While Giri doesn't state the who, he notes that Black has had interest from companies outside of AEW. But as one door potentially opens and another door potentially closes, a different door just stays where it is. It had been reported that Saraya's contract with AEW was coming to an end, and the two were having conversations about her future with the company. Saraya had gone from being a featured player in the women's division, winning the Women's World Championship at last year's All In, to being on the pre-show this year in an angle for Jamie Hayter's return and, well, losing a lot on TV. She is facing Hayter on Collision this coming Saturday. There was plenty of speculation online that she wouldn't be re-signing with AEW. However, according to Fightful Select, Saraya is sticking around with All Elite Wrestling. Sean Ross Sapp reports that Saraya has signed for another year with the company. Fightful add in their report that AEW had a 1-year option on her original contract, but this would appear to be separate from that deal. This deal now expires in 2025. Fightful add there was a lot of positivity backstage regarding her match with Hayter that airs on Collision. We've got some news on those missing WWE stars in a moment, but first we now go over to Turbo John to hear about some very special backers over on Patreon.
Hi everyone, it's 80s wrestler Turbo John here, thanking you for all your support over at patreon.com/WrestleTalk, because you have been instrumental in helping us make the content that we make here, but also supporting my brother Turbo Jake as we try and find him in his bizarre gardening accidents. And when you head on over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk, you get yourselves loads of cool bonus and exclusive content. And if you back us at a certain level, you get your name read out on the show, like these fine folk, these fine people who have supported me. They've supported my family, they've supported Turbo Jake, they've supported Turbo John, and they support Turbo Jack. And they work out people like the Cleaner, Kenny Shaw, the British Bulldog, Philly Boy J. Smith Jr., the Roller Coaster, Robert Acosta, Yo Adrian, Rocky. He can last Sean for longer than you in the ring, Starbuck Steven Costa. And lastly, what a fine soul, the Shield Maiden, the Zornice. Head on over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk. That is Patreon COM/WrestleTalk to get yourself your own Patreon shout out here on the WrestleTalk News by me, 80s wrestler Turbo John, or perhaps my fine brother Turbo Jack, but not my sweet departed Turbo Jake. Only he's not departed. I will find you. I will help you. I will use the money that is being donated by these fine people to bring you peace. Work out.
Boy, it's the second time I've seen that Turbo John, and he sure seems handsome. Lovely hair as well. But please do go on over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk, as we've got a bunch of exclusive content. Shortly after I've recorded this news episode, Ollie and I will be sitting down for the next 4 hours to talk about TNA Turning Point 2006 as part of our WrestleTalk Extra series charting TNA's greatest rivalry, Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe. But really, I just want to talk about the Voodoo Kin Mafia. Last week, it was reported via Fightful Select that the reason AJ Styles was off TV wasn't because he was hurt, it's just that, for lack of a better phrase, creative had nothing for him. He was working house shows, he just wasn't being used on TV. It prompted another Patreon backer to ask Sean Ross Sapp if it was a similar story for Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura last had a match on TV back in April where he lost to Sheamus. He was drafted to SmackDown where he's wrestled a few dark matches but hasn't actually been on TV. He's been doing the house show loops and the house show matches working Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles though. His last match with WWE was back in August as part of WWE's European tour ahead of Bash in Berlin. He did get a big push in late 2023 which paid off in a street fight and bull rope match with Rhodes in January and February, and the rumor at the time was this was just WWE trying to lure Kazuchika Okada to them instead of him signing with AEW. As for why he's not been on TV, Sean Ross Sapp writes that Nakamura is in the same boat as AJ Styles. He's fine and healthy and just hasn't been used on WWE TV for whatever reason. He adds that he's not just not on TV, Nakamura is not regularly at TV. Speaking of AJ Styles, and Fightful Select followed up on their previous report, now reporting that AJ Styles' future in wrestling is uncertain. Fightful again reiterates that Styles is healthy and able to work, but currently is just enjoying time with his family. What is new, however, is that his contract with WWE is up soon. Like, really soon. So soon, it could be the end of this year or the start of next year. Back in April, Styles told The Ringer that he was thinking about retiring, or that he was at least close to the end, but still wanted that match and that storyline before he leaves WWE for good. But Fightful have heard from their sources that there hasn't been any effort in re-signing AJ Styles, or if he has any plans moving forward. And as we've seen over the last week or so, WWE have been aggressive in re-signing talent who have their deals expiring next year, re-signing them early so as to not to wait for the final few months before negotiation season begins, or before competing companies start to show an interest. PW Insider noted this included Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, and Fightful Select reported that Kevin Owens was another name on that list. So them not doing the same for AJ Styles does raise some questions. While it's unclear when the contract does officially end, Fightful notes that influential names in the business believe it is up this year. Now go and watch that full Deadpool video we showed a clip of earlier, as we really do appreciate all of your support and we do need it as well. So have a great weekend.